So what is the minimum expectation for Mario Cristobal and the Miami Hurricanes this season? What's going on, Canes fans? Now hold up a minute before you type out that comment, because I know that for a lot of you, the knee-jerk reaction is probably ACC championship or maybe even national championship. And if that is truly how you feel, if that's your minimum expectation going into 2025, then make that your comment. Then type that out. But just remember that I'm asking you what the floor would be for you personally for this team this season. This is what the Canes have to accomplish. It must at least be this to stop you from ripping that 85-inch TV off the wall and smashing it and throwing that Ruben Bain jersey in the trash. Look, I'm sorry you had to catch a stray there, Ruben, but you're just a fan favorite. I'm talking they cannot go below this, or you're going to start to question if they should keep Mario Cristobal around. It can be a specific number of wins, for instance. It could be the ACC championship game appearance or victory, or apply that to the college football playoffs as well. So don't be shy. Sound off in the comments. And I'm going to let you know my thoughts and feelings on this. And I feel like that I'm possibly setting the bar a little high this season, but I really don't think that it's some far off distant long shot. I do think the Canes can accomplish this, and I believe that they should. This is my expectation for this team in 2025. So Mario Cristobal has won more games every year that he's been here. That's just a fact. And last season, the Canes finally hit that 10-win mark again, which hadn't been done since 2017. So you would think that for me, stepping up that win total would be what I would like to see, hitting 11 wins in 2025, keep climbing. Wait a minute. I feel like there's a team that already uses that slogan. Anyways, it would be great to see Mario Cristobal and the Canes get double-digit wins again in 2025. But what's actually a little bit more important to me is I need to see, and mine's a two-part, by the way. Mine's a two-part. I need to see them at least split the Notre Dame and Florida games. Preferably winning both of them, of course, but they have to win at least one of those. There's going to be a ton of hype going into these non-conference games, but at the end of the day, they are non-conference games. Notre Dame national championship runner-up. Florida is going to be improved this year, as much crap as I give them. And I need to see Miami win at least one of those. The world is going to be watching that Notre Dame game. It's a Sunday night, so it's absolutely a big deal in the history between those two programs. And it would show that, Miami possibly has a lot going for them this season if they can take out Notre Dame in that first game. But at the end of the day, for me, and maybe I'm just a little more optimistic than usual going into this season, it's not the end of the world if Miami does drop that Notre Dame game. You can bounce back from that. That's a non-conference game. And Miami has started strong before and then crapped the bed late in the season. So I don't necessarily believe that there's that much riding on a strong start. It would be great. It would be better if that happened, but it's not the end of the world if they were to lose to Notre Dame. And the same goes for the Florida game. They could win Notre Dame, then lose to Florida, have that non-conference loss, and it's not that big of a deal. What's more of a big deal is what I'm going to get into in the second part of this, but I'm just saying that they need to win at least one of those. They must win at least one of those. That is my expectation, to get a victory in at least one of those two games. The second part of my minimum expectation for the team this season is simple. Well, it's not simple at all, but it's simple to explain. They need to be in the ACC championship game. And I'm not even going to come out and say that they have to win it. They just need to be there. Something that's not happened since 2017. And it's just an absolute embarrassment that SMU came in their first year in the conference, they were in the ACC championship game over Miami. So I'm sick and tired of the excuses. I've been there, but I really am going into this season, year 4 for Mario Cristobal. No more excuses. No more, well, we have to play Virginia Tech in Blacksburg late in November. And what if Pitt, steals a win there in that final game of the season? We got to play SMU, the team that played in the conference championship last year in Dallas, Texas. No more excuses. Make it to the ACC championship game. You have the number 1 ranked transfer portal quarterback again this season. You made a change at defensive coordinator. You had a pretty good portal class come in just overall in general. You've got Fletcher returning. You got guys like Gerard Pringle. You need to be in the ACC championship game. Mario Cristobal lost 5 ACC games in his first year in 2022. He lost 5 again in 2023. And he did cut that loss, the ACC losses, down to just 2 last season. But it was to Syracuse blowing a 21-point lead and losing to Georgia Tech, who threw the football 16 times in the game, basically playing with a one-armed quarterback. So no excuses, man, in the ACC. That is the most important thing to me going into this season. I have been very vocal in saying that you could even lose Notre Dame and Florida, even though that's part of my minimum expectations. I would be more happy if they could just run the table in the ACC. You could hit my minimum expectation of winning one of those games, just at least one. So win Florida, lose to Notre Dame, and then lose to freaking USF or any of the other non-conference games. Just run the table in the ACC. And I say run the table. It really doesn't even have to be run the table. If they ended up dropping 1 or 2, as long as it leads to making it to the ACC championship game, whatever that means. I need to be more specific. Whatever it takes to get to the ACC championship game, because that depends on the landscape of the conference, right? Like how things are playing out throughout the season. Sometimes you can get into the conference championship with a loss or 2 losses. Sometimes you've got to be undefeated. Most people already believe that Clemson is going to be one of those teams. We'll see. It is very likely, but we'll see the teams that are in there. But it's just make it to the ACC championship game, and I think it's fair. Tell me if I'm crazy. Okay, well don't answer that because I'm absolutely crazy. But am I expecting too much? Saying that year 4 for Mario, with what has been done, that they must make an ACC championship game appearance? Again, I'm not predicting that. I'm not saying that they will, but I'm saying that needs to be the expectation. People that watch these videos continue to mix up predictions and what I want to happen versus what I think will happen versus expectations. Predictions and expectations are very different. They have to make it there, and that's what the fan base, I think, should expect out of this team this season. The reason why I kind of backpedaled on the run the table in the ACC thing is because I'm still going to assume that Miami is going to have that one conference game. The game that they should have won that they lost. And just being honest with you, until they prove otherwise, I'm going to continue to assume that that's going to happen. It's a Miami thing. It's a Mario thing. They're typically going to drop a game that they shouldn't. And we've talked about the late games, the Virginia Tech, the Pitt, Rhett Lashley dialing up some special sauce in Dallas whenever they take them on November 1st. So I still think they're probably going to drop an game, but that doesn't mean that they can't make it to the ACC championship game. But that's really all I've got. I just want to hear your minimum expectation for the Canes this season. Again, for me, you have to win at least one of the games between Notre Dame and Florida, and you must make it to the ACC championship game. Whatever that takes, whatever that means, they just have to be there. And that's the floor for me. That's the bare minimum going into this season. Otherwise, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pretty upset about it. Really, I am. So don't be shy. Sound off down in the comment section below. Remember though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family. But at the end of the day, I gotta say, it's always better when you get to rep the you. Coach Coop, peace out. I'll see y'all in the next one.